The Times, in that reporting, they documented these little yellow check boxes that the Republicans used on all their fundraising pitches around this scam to basically unwittingly rope people into giving more money than they intended. Boxes said things like this: "Let's break a fundraising record on President Trump's birthday. Join now." And then below, in lighter print, this additional donation will process on June 14th. That box comes pre-checked, as does the monthly recurring donation box above it. But that bottom one, even though it doesn't say it in plain language, if you don't uncheck that box, what they're going to do is they're going to double the amount of money they take from you. Whatever your donation was, they're going to take that amount a second time on that date that's in there in the fine print, unless you uncheck that box. So if your sweet little Trump-supporting great aunt thought she was giving, $200, unless she read to the bottom and figured out what those checked boxes meant and manually unchecked them, she was actually going to end up giving $200 a month, maybe, and potentially a whole extra $200 randomly taken out of her account or off her credit card on June 14th. She had to notice what those were, understand what those were, and physically go out of her way to uncheck them in order for that to not happen. Or there's this one: "Join the President's Executive Club for true patriots only." And then in lighter type below, "Make this a weekly recurring donation until Election Day." Unless you found that, read it, decided you didn't consider yourself to be a true patriot and didn't want to be in President Trump's Executive Club, unless you found all those things and unchecked that box, your intended, say, $200 donation would become $200 every week all the way through November until you figured out they were ripping you off and canceled your credit card. I mean, just a humiliating scam the Republican Party and the Trump operation got caught for. They got caught for that just this past weekend in the New York Times. And now we know how they reacted. Today, a new fundraising pitch from the Republican Party itself, specifically the NRCC, which is the part of the Republican Party that supports Republicans in the House of Representatives. They put this out today. This box pre-checked for their donors. "We need to know we haven't lost you to the radical left. If you uncheck this box, we will have to tell Trump you're a defector and sided with the Dems. Check this box and we can win back the House and get Trump to run in 2024. But to be clear, the box starts off already checked. And then, in lighter text below, "Make this a monthly recurring donation." Doesn't even look like it's related to that text about whether or not you want to be a defector. This is what the National Republican Party is doing today to its its donors. If you're a defector and you want to be reported as such to our former president, who is notoriously ruthless and relentless against defectors, ruins people's lives, sicks his followers on them. You've seen the way he goes after people who aren't loyal to him. You want to be one of them? If you're one of them, then uncheck this box, you traitor. But unchecking the box is the only way you can keep them from taking your intended one-time donation over and over and over and over and over again. Till your bank account is drained? There's also this one today from the Republican Party. If you want Trump to run for president in 2024, check this box. If we flip 5 seats in the House red, Trump says he'll run. That's not actually true. Uncheck this box, we lose. And what does unchecking that box actually do? Well, you have to skip down a line and then look at the finer print there, but it would make it so that they don't keep taking more money from you in the future beyond what you're donating today. They don't double your donation. Again, this was just exposed this week as having driven more than $100 million in fraud claims by Republican Trump supporters. They're not only still doing it days later, they're going hog wild with it. They're upping the predatory nature and the sort of bamboozling nature of these things to try to trick as many people as they can into falling for one of these schemes where they donate more than they intended and their bank account is left open to the Republican Party to keep coming back and taking money out of it without getting any further permission. Becoming a donor to the Republican Party in this era, it's like replying to one of those Nigerian prince emails with your actual bank account information. It's like loaning your credit card to the local meth dealer just for a few hours. He said he'd give it back. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.